Welcome, welcome, welcome once again to Tycoonatic's channel. I apologize for not being around for a little bit of time. I promised everybody I would be back, try to be back twice a week, and that just didn't work out because of a variety of reasons, personal, professional, and Borderlands 3. But that's neither here nor there. I am back tonight, Wednesday night. What day is it? What date is it? It is September 25th, 2019, and I am here to have a little fun, play a little game. And is my microphone working? Better be working. Microphone? Oh, there it is. Yep, it's working. Hello, everybody. Just in case you couldn't hear me, now you can totally hear me because my microphone's working. That is it. So it is. I already told you the date. It is the evening. It is almost 9 o'clock because I had to go to happy hour today because, hey, you know, makes me happy. And here from beautiful, beautiful, sunny, incredibly overly heated Silicon Valley, California, I am going to play the beta of Planet Zoo. Planet Zoo is Frontier Development's newest title. It's going to be released in early November, but if you were an idiot and pre-ordered the deluxe edition, I don't mean that. I'm sorry. I shouldn't say that. A lot of people think that you shouldn't do pre-orders. I have gotten to trust Frontier in recent years, so I totally trust them to put together a game that I will spend at least 20 minutes in. Most likely more. Their previous titles, well, let's see. We have Frontier, not Frontier. Elite Dangerous, the grand sequel to Frontier Elite 2, and whatever the game was that came after that, which I can't remember, and the original Elite for every 8-bit microcomputer under the sun. Elite Dangerous, of course, is their big space title that is competing directly with Star Citizen. Just kidding, Star Citizen. Anyway. But they also released, more importantly, for viewers of this channel, they released Planet Coaster. Planet Coaster? That's right? It's not like Planet Theme Park or whatever. Planet Coaster, yeah, that's it. Which is an awesome building tool for making a theme park. And an awesome tycoon-y game. Planet Coaster is one of the two, arguably, one of the two biggest theme park builders of today, along with Architect, which, in my opinion, Planet Coaster is the best tool in the universe for actually creating, like, basically for doing design stuff. Although I think Architect is a little bit better for managing things. I have gotten the impression from early reports that Planet Zoo is better at management for this kind of stuff. We are going to find out by playing the beta tonight. Now, I've just booted it up for the first time, so let's swap over to our game. Fancy, fancy, fancy transition. So, I am here, I've loaded the game, I am on the intro page, and it says, welcome to me, and it says create my avatar. So let's create an avatar. Hopefully this won't take too long. This is the beta. I'm not going to take a long time on this. So I'm going to make myself an adult, and I'm going to make myself a fat person, and I'm going to make myself a dude, and I'm going to make me white, and I'm going to make me oh, these are head shapes. Let's do this one, and then we'll do, let's see, we'll do this one, and we'll change the color to my hair. Oh, that's rainbow. I want rainbow. Why is it doing that? I wanted to change it to my natural hair color, but I can't do that. So I will do this, and then I will put on my facial hair, which is kind of the closest thing there is. The closest thing there is to it, which is kind of that. Gotta put on my glasses, gotta put on my, let's see, bodies. I like that one better. Oh, that's not bodies. It says bodies. It's not bodies, it's your shirt. Feet, I'm gonna wear jeans, and I'm gonna make them blue. then that blue I like better. And then hats. Will I wear a hat? Oh, like we got animal hats. Oh, one of them is an African painted dog. That's perfect. It's my favorite animal. Now you know something about me. Something personal. Something private. Let's accept this. Okay, where's my avatar HQ? Is it going to be in Africa? Is it going to be in Saudi Arabia? Is it going to be in Europe? South Asia? Siberia? Southeast Asia? China? Japan? Malaysia, Philippines, yada yada yada, Australia, New Zealand. They remembered New Zealand. Good people. How about Antarctica? By the way, this is a geography lesson for all of you kids out there. Then we got Canada, and we got the U.S., and we got Mexico and Central America, South America, and then we go back. So I am going to put it approximately where I am located, which is more or less here, I guess. Are you sure? Yes. Okay, that's not really where I am. That's more like Nevada, but whatever. Scenario franchise. So scenario, embark on a career in zoo management. Complete scenarios. See how far you can go. Franchise. You ready to launch your own franchise? Build out again. Scenario looks like. Stately homeschooling. Go to a house. All right. Let's start it. Nice music. Well, while I was thinking about this, I'm going to grab a soda. I'll be right back. I need beer.
Ah, heyo at Hematu. Yeah. Oh, sorry about that. I have a habit of slipping back into the Planko language. It's good to finally meet you in person. I'm Bernard, although I insist you call me Bernie. The only person who calls me Bernard is my wife. And even then, only when I've tracked elephant dung into the carpets.
Oh, Bernie.
As you know,
crazy.
I own several zoos, but I always like to show people the ropes here at my home. This is the first zoo I ever opened, and a source of great pride for me. And pride, thanks to a lion breeding program we ran in the 80s. But we're in the middle of a big renovation, and that's where you come in. Sadly, our old contractor had to retire after developing a fur allergy. Poor devil kept sneezing his dentures into the lion habitat. So, it's up to you to finish everything off. Don't worry, though. I'm not completely throwing you in at the deep end. My head keeper, Nancy Jones, will be lending a helping hand. Oh, she's a hard worker, and she'll expect you to be too. But I'm sure you'll get along like a house on fire, or even better, one that isn't on fire. Less shouting that way.
Hello there. From that rosy, fresh face of yours, I'm guessing you're Bernie's new hire. Good. Now, I hope you're ready to ditch your diploma because we're about to get really hands-on. But before we begin the real work, how about we familiarize you with the zoo by learning how to fly around it and visiting some of our beautiful animals? We'll start by popping over and having a look-see at the grizzly bears in their habitat.
Well, I don't think any zookeeper has ever started their employees' first day with, we want to make sure you can properly fly over your zoo, but hey, okay, so it looks like we have standard controls. We got zoom in, we've got, whoa, I don't know what that was. Rotate. Okay, there's rotate, there's up and down, that's with the middle mouse button. Good. Pan camera, pretty standard. So yeah, basically, it's Planet Coaster controls. Raise camera E, lower camera Q. That's cool. All right, let's go look at the grizzly bears in their habitat.
Did you know that grizzly bears, also known as Ursus arctos horribilis, can hibernate for up to 7 months a year? Oh, but then again, given the chance, I think a lot of people would do that too.
I absolutely would.
Select one of the bears and you'll bring up its information panel.
Placing objects. Okay, select one of the bears. Bears, bears, bears. It's like any It's like any good zoo. You can never actually see the animals. There we go.
This is where you can find out all kinds of information about
This bear
your
is
animal.
naked
The most
raw.
important thing being its overall welfare. You'll learn more about animal welfare today as we go through your objectives. But for now, let's enjoy this magnificent animal. Why don't you select the camera at the bottom of its information panel?
Okay. Activate the animal camera. Oh, I'm seeing a bunch of bushes.
This is a fantastic way to get a close look
Oh, I
at your
can
animals.
go around.
You can also get this view of an animal by simply double-clicking on it.
Oh, swimmy bear.
Okay, when you're ready, let's pop over to the other side of the zoo and take a look at the lions. I've marked their location for you to find.
Cinematic. Ooh. All right. So let's exit out of Naked Raw. Let's go take a look at the lions. Whoa, that was really zoom out. Where's their location? You said you marked it. There it is. Hello, lions. This looks like a pretty good zoo by itself already.
Leo.
Why am I here?
The West African lion to you and me. Lions are the most social of the big cats, and there can be as many as 40 lions in a pride. Although prides of that size are pretty rare. As Bernie would say, those lions are awesome. Which is precisely why I handle the training instead these days. Anyway, how about we get started on those objectives? Come on, let's head over to our warthog habitat and see what needs doing there.
Warthog habitat. We saw a lion, now we see a warthog. Then we get to see a meerkat, and then we get to remake the live action Lion King musical, Lion King movie. There you go. Jumoke. Oh, let me close him. Okay, I'm in the warthog habitat.
As you can see, it's a lovely space for warthogs, but it's missing a certain something. Well, two somethings. The warthogs. So I'd like you to adopt a pair of them.
Aww,
to adopt
adopting?
animals, we need to
That's
open
adorable.
the animal market, which is in the animal trading section.
So by adopting, do they mean like I have to call up like some sort of like poacher or something from Africa? No, never mind. That's me being evil again. Okay, so I have to click on animal trading.
There we are.
Animal
A
market.
pair of perfectly splendid warthogs for our zoo. Just click on them and select Buy from the side menu. Normally the animal exchange would be full of animals, but I've emptied out the market while you learn how it works.
Well, I don't have an
The
option
last
to
thing I
buy.
need is you
but I do
accidentally
have an option
ordering
to
a
adopt.
dozen elephants.
All right, my warthogs are adopted.
When you adopt an animal, it's automatically placed in the trade center, where they're held until you're ready to move them into their habitat, which, as it happens, you are. So how about you move them into their new home?
Okay, open the trade center. Here we go. Send to zoo. And then this one send to zoo.
When you ask for an animal to be moved into a habitat, your caretakers will go to the trade center, collect your animal, and deliver them to your selected habitat. I've marked the trade center's location, so let's go and watch the caretakers in action.
Okay, where's my trade center? Ah, it's over there.
Well, as you can see, those caretakers don't hang about. They'll move those animals to their destination as fast as possible. Of course, normally we'd have to place the animals into quarantine before moving them into a habitat. But I am assured by a person of good standing that these warthogs are in the very rudest of health.
Rudest.
Right, let's get the warthog's habitat finished up so we can keep them nice and happy. You see,
Okay.
each animal in the zoo has an overall welfare statistic, basically how happy they are. And that overall welfare statistic is itself comprised of 4 different areas: nutrition, social health, habitat, and enrichment. Luckily, if you select an animal, you'll bring up the Animal Welfare Information Panel, which we saw earlier, where you can see how they're doing. That way, you'll know exactly what areas need to be addressed. Don't worry if that's a lot to remember. You can always check the Zoopedia for more information.
Okay. So, I'm not talking a lot because I'm listening a lot,
Let's start by making sure we're taking care of the warthog's nutrition welfare. To do this, we'll need to place a food station and a drinking station.
Okay.
Now, each animal requires a different type of feeding station. And for the warthogs, it's a small feeding trough. So let's add one of those and a water bowl.
All right. So we'll put one of those, and then we'll put... this is telling me about object placement. So confirm, cancel, rotate... Okay, rotate is Z and X.
Animals also require stimulation to keep them happy. Let's add a lovely mud bath for the warthogs to roll around in. That bath will count towards their enrichment welfare, specifically their toy enrichment welfare.
Okay, we'll add a mud bath. Wonderful. What? Oh, look at that big old mud bath. So muddy. So mudalicious. Just put it right there.
Nice work. You've got a knack for this, I see. Now, our contractor had to leave in a hurry, so this place is in a fair old state. Unfinished thingamajigs and what's-its all over the shop. But the first thing we need to finish is the ostrich habitat. It's over near the hippos.
Ah, look at him go. So, this, what this is reminding me of is it's not reminding me of Planet Coaster so much as it's reminding me of, well, a mix of that game and another Frontier title, which was the Jurassic World Evolution title that came out, I want to say last year? Maybe the year before that. Very similar in many respects. You know, you have to take care of the animals, you have to keep them fed and enriched and all that kind of, not enriched, but like, you know, you have to basically meet their needs. Jurassic World ended up just basically being kind of a, you know, build these things and build the stuff that makes people happy and then meet their needs. And then if you put in carnivores, meet their needs until they break out and murder a bunch of people. Because they will always break out and murder a bunch of people. That's probably not the case in this game, but I don't know. They're pretty good at making murder with people with animal simulators.
Job number 1 here is to add a habitat gate before we complete the barrier. Every habitat.
The ostrich habitat isn't even a habitat,
gate.
it's just
After
sort of
all,
under
how
construction.
Else would the keepers get in and out. Just make sure it's hooked up to the path so the keepers can reach it.
Habitat gate. Alright, we'll put that there.
Right. Let's complete the perimeter barrier so we can adopt us some ostriches. I've marked out an area for you to use, so I'd like you to finish off the perimeter using the brick barrier.
Well, if we're using the brick barrier, how is anybody going to see the ostriches? Well, I guess I'm going to figure that out. Okay, so barriers, a brick. Whoop, come on. Ah, God. Trees. Okay. Oh, it made those... Oh, that's interesting. Edit barrier. Let's move this to... No. Okay, that makes it taller. Okay, so how do I delete this? Can I just delete it? There we go.
Good work.
There we go.
Remember, before you can place animals in any habitat, it has to have a full loop of connected barrier. Now, you've probably noticed that guests can't actually see into this habitat at the moment. At least not without a stepladder. But seeing as they're banned, I'd like you to select a piece of barrier and swap out the brick for a glass barrier, so the guests can see in.
Okay. Swap a section of brick for glass. So we'll change that. This is a little odd because it looks like the brick can actually... Yeah, you adjust the height, and I wasn't doing that before. Okay. We'll do the same thing with this one. Can I adjust the height? Yeah, there we go. 2 meters. And then this one will be... Why didn't it swap it out for glass, though? Glass. How do you swap it? I have no idea what I'm doing here. Okay. So these barrier pieces, I can adjust to be the height that I want them to be. Okay. So we want that to be 2 meters there. And then I want this to be... Let's see, do I have to delete a section before? I probably have to delete a section before I do that. I just want to make these tall enough so that I don't have ostriches escaping, because ostriches are birds, and birds are the worst animals. That's not true. Birds are actually pretty cool, but you know. Okay, so if I take out this section, delete, and I put in a glass section.
There we go.
There we go.
Adding in more windows gives guests even more opportunities to see the animals in a habitat. It's always best to make sure the guests can get a good view into a habitat from the path they're walking on, because it makes them happy, and because this would be a pretty terrible zoo if they couldn't. The last thing we need to do is to add a donation box. You see, when guests enjoy the view of an animal, they'll make a donation.
Donation
box.
box.
Make sure you put them in easy-to-reach places, like near a viewing point. Donation boxes are one of the main sources of income for the zoo, so make sure you remember them.
Okay. Add a donation box. Look, a donation box. Please give us monies.
All right.
Thanks.
We've finished the habitat, so it's high time we adopted those ostriches, don't you think?
I do
Let's
think.
get 4 of them in here.
4 ostriches? That's way too many ostriches. Now let's see if I can remember this. We go to animal trading. We go to the market. We buy 4 ostriches. 1, adopt. 2, adopt. 3, adopt. 4, adopt. Then we go to, back to animal trading, we go to trade center. And we put our ostriches in this habitat. And then we put the next one in this habitat. Also, the next one in this habitat. And then we, whoops. What did I do? Animal trading. And the last one goes into... Oh, there's a little bit of a delay here. So it's called a beta. Send to zoo. Go
While
here.
we wait for them to be collected by the caretakers and brought to the habitat, you should get it ready for them. Add a suitable feeding station, water station, and an appropriate food enrichment item.
Alright.
It's often best to place things like enrichments and feeding stations near to the habitat perimeter, so guests can get a really good view of the animals.
Okay, so, the question is, how do I know what types of... Okay, and then we'll put, so that's food. And then, so food and water. We'll put a water trough. Over here. And okay, the slow feeder is good for ostriches. This is good for somebody. Okay, so what does she want me to do here? She wants me to... Not help. Objectives. Add feeding station, add food enrichment. Oh, so this is food enrichment, not feeding? I'm not sure what that's all about. Okay, that's fine. Let's go back to habitat. Let's set up a food bowl.
Oh, good to see the ostriches have somewhere they can really stretch their legs. Did you know they can actually run at 43 miles per hour? Oh, heaven forbid they ever escape. The speed camera fines alone would bankrupt us.
You're amazing. Okay, so...
Well, Bernie certainly seems impressed. Did he do his speed camera joke? Every time we get an ostrich. So, now we've made the ostriches' lives a bit better, let's do the same for the keepers, shall we? To make it easier for the keepers to feed the ostriches and hippos, we should build a new keeper hut. Keeper huts are where the keepers prepare the food for animals, so they should be placed near to the habitats to make sure the keepers don't waste their time walking when they should be looking after the animals.
Okay. So we'll go to facilities. We'll place a keeper hut. Keep a hut. So where can I place the keeper hut? Outside placement area. Where did... Oh, they want me to place it over here. How do I do, like, fine... It only does this in, like, 90-degree angles. Let me look something up here. Placement. Building a zoo. Power... No. Object placement. Let's see. Rotate. Okay, so that's rotate 90 degrees. Rotate is Z plus. So Z plus left and right. Okay, good to know. Let's go back to facilities. Let's grab our little hut. We'll go Z plus left. Oh, I see. I see. Okay, that's cool. Boom. All right.
This keeper hut only has space for one keeper, but the larger keeper hut can allow multiple keepers to prepare food at the same time. Oh, but bear in mind that keeper huts and other staff facilities shouldn't be placed near to areas where there are lots of guests. Guests don't like seeing facility buildings, and it can affect their happiness. Negatively. In case that wasn't clear. Something that all facilities, shops, and a whole host of other objects need is power. And that obviously includes your newly built keeper hut. So let's place a transformer next to it, shall we?
Okay, but I'm not sure what good a robot that turns into a car will do. Eh? Eh?
Now, the reason everything has gone blue is because you're using the power heat map. This map allows you to see what is and what isn't powered in your zoo. So, once you've placed your transformer, you can click in the bottom left to turn the heat map off.
Okay.
Lovely work. Now the keepers can start using the hut to prepare food, and thanks to where you've put it, they won't need to walk very far to deliver it to the ostriches and hippos.
So the power
Let's get
facility...
on to your next objective then. Bengal tigers. We want to adopt some, but I'm afraid there's nothing ready for them yet. Head on over to the plot of land I've marked out. It's not too far away.
So I guess I don't run lines. These just have to be... Okay, so it's kind of like... it's once again, that's like Jurassic World. Okay.
Righty, your next job is to build a habitat. From scratch. Land, wood and concrete, I expect. So go ahead and build it. And don't forget the habitat gate. It's always best to place the habitat gate close to the keeper hut. As it happens, there's one quite near to the trade center.
Okay, is this the keeper hut?
Oh, and make sure
That's
the
a
guests will be
transformer.
able to see the tigers.
Where's the keeper hut? Is it one of these buildings over here? Oh, yeah. No. Okay. Oh, yeah, there's one... Oh, those are keeper huts. I guess. Okay. So, I have to build a habitat from scratch. So, I'm going to put a... So, I'm going to set up my barriers. I'm going to put my gate here. Okay, so I guess it has to go this way. Yeah, okay. Keeper hut will go there. And then we will keep a 2-meter fence alongside the tigers, or alongside where the tigers are going to go. It's funny, anytime I see tigers in a zoo, they're always in this like pit-like enclosure, so I guess it's not what we're doing here. There we go. What if I can build these longer? It looks like I probably can. Yeah, I can set my length to whatever the hell I want. Set that to 20. 20? 20 meters. It says 2 meters. That's pretty funny. Oh, okay, let's set it back down to... Not 3. Let's set it back to 8. Let's see if I can do that. That's cutting it close. Let's bring it down to 6. There we go. That's a lot better. And then we'll bring it back up to maybe 10 at a time. Boom. Boom. Okay, that's a little much, so let's bring it back down to about 6. There we go. Okay, bring it back to 8. And then we'll connect it.
Now, Bernie takes safety very seriously at his zoos, so we should probably make sure those tigers can't jump out of their habitat, don't you think?
I do agree.
The way we'll do it is by changing the height of the habitat's barrier. Okay then, you should start by double-clicking the habitat barrier, which will take you into barrier editing mode.
Right. Okay.
Great. Now,
I did that
highlight
already.
the entire perimeter of the habitat. You can do that by clicking and dragging the barrier selection tool. Now you've got all of the perimeter selected, you can increase the height of it by clicking and dragging the barrier height tool upwards.
Oh,
you
that's
want to
cool.
make sure it reaches a minimum height of 4 meters.
Let's make it 4.25 meters. 4.2 meters. 4.26. Oh, I almost said 2.5. Come on. Oh my god, it's so twitchy. Come on. Come on. You can do it. 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 There we go. Boom.
Okay, that's the habitat boundary complete, the habitat gate in place, and most importantly, the tigers won't be able to jump out of it anymore. I think it's time we adopted those tigers.
I agree, but nobody's going to be able to see the tigers, so I'm going to replace this bit, How do I delete this? I guess I can't yet. So, because it's a tutorial or something. Okay, and then we'll send to zoo, and then send to zoo.
Whilst our trusty caretakers collect and deliver the tigers, let's take a look at preparing the habitat for their arrival. We'll start with the basics. Add a suitable feeding station for them.
Let's see.
This time, instead of adding a water bowl, let's try something different. Some animals need a pool in their habitat so they can go for a swim, but they can also use it to drink from. All you have to do is make sure the banks of the pool have a gentle slope so they can easily get a nice, refreshing drink. There's already a pool excavated, but you still need to fill it with water. You should do that by going into terrain and selecting the water tool.
Select the water tool. Got it.
Yes, that'll do nicely. Of course, just like the warthogs and ostriches, these tigers will also need some enrichment. Why don't you add some suitable toy and food enrichment items into their habitat?
Okay. So we'll go to habitat, we'll go to toys, and we'll put in a frozen blood pumpkin. All right. Oh, and a rubbing pad. Everybody loves rubbing pads. Let's put that there.
Okay, it's really starting to take shape. Now, the tigers will need a shelter in their habitat so they can hide from the guests, or more likely the bad weather. Although given that we're in England, you might want to think of that just as normal weather. Go on, add a shelter to their habitat. You can either build one from various suitable bits and bobs, or if you like, just pop down the blueprint that I've already built for you.
Okay, let's go to blueprints, planet zoo, small shelter. Okay. Let's see, where can I put this? I'll put this over. Well, that's going to be where people see them. So I'll just put this here.
Oh, poor Dabs. I'm sure it can't have escaped your attention that the tigers look a bit miffed. That's because they aren't too keen on the type of terrain in their habitat. Select a tiger and bring up its information panel.
Okay. Habitat.
Rightio. Click on the terrain tab. That way you can view the terrain information and see how they feel about the different types of terrain. That'll tell you what the tigers need more of or less of in this habitat.
Okay, so it needs less long grass
Okay then,
and
open
more
the
soil.
terrain editing tool, select painting, and give them some more soil. Yes, that should help with the habitat part of their welfare.
Soil, soil, soil. Whoa, that's a... Okay. Let's see how they like that. Okay, the soil's good. Need to get rid of that. It needs long grass. Oh, it needs more long grass. Okay, so let's go back to terrain. Let's choose long grass. Is that not working? Okay, well that's not working, so I'm not sure what that's all about. Okay, I put in a bunch of soil. Increase terrain welfare to 100%. Increase plants welfare to 90%. Well, why won't it let me paint in long grass? That's one of my questions. Okay, let's put in short grass. Oh, there it goes. That's working. Alright, let's take a look. How's your welfare? Your habitat? Still need more long grass. Okay, let's put in some What is it painting right now? Hold on. Okay, so my terrain pop-up isn't working right now. Terrain. My terrain pop-up isn't working. There's my terrain pop-up. Okay. So, long grass. That's all long grass. That's all long grass. Okay. Let's see how they like that. Whoa! I'm not sure what I'm looking at here. Okay, so if I go to terrain, does it need? Do they need less long grass? It's the text says they need more, but the okay. So what did that do? I need to be able to move this window. Okay, so I think the okay, so I think that this marker moves into this space, even though it says animal needs. Oh, it says less grass. It needs less long grass. Okay, so let's go to terrain. Let's change some of this long grass to soil. Okay, and let's see how that does for them. Okay, not quite enough. Let's move this down. Okay, there we go. Now I can see what I'm actually modifying. All right, so need more soil, more soil and less long grass. Okay, the soil's good. Got to bring that long grass down. Bring it down, up, more soil, less long grass. More soil, less long grass. Come on, guys. More soil, less long grass.
All animals need plants
Perfect.
and trees from their own biome or continent. You know, deserts, savannas, or Asia, Europe, that sort of thing. It looks like these tigers need a few more plants in their habitat.
Okay.
To get a perfect fit, use plants from the rainforest and temperate biomes that are native to Asia. Although if you have to, you can get away with using just one or the other. The tigers will also want a certain amount of their habitat to be covered by those plants. To find out which plants to use and how many, select a tiger and go to the Environment tab.
Okay, Tiger, Environment tab. So they need more coverage and they need more plants. So we're going to put in, where are my plants? Nature.
Now, as you can see, some of the plants currently in the habitat aren't quite right for the tiger, like the wattle bushes. You can remove them if you want. You can find all of the plants you need in the nature section, and you can use the filters to only show the types of plants you want to see. In this case, that's plants from the rainforest or temperate biomes.
Okay, that's Asia. Wattle bushes, Oceania. So I want to keep the Asia ones, looks like. That's Africa. We're going to take that out. And then that one's fine. So let's how do I sort this? Let's see. Filter. Biome. We want temperate and tropical, and we want Asia. Nice. That's a good interface. I like it. Let's look at our trees. Let's click on one of my tigers to see what I'm looking at here. Okay. So, plants. Okay, let's do that. Do a few of these. Okay. Hawthorn bush. These, there aren't very many trees here, are there? Asia, Europe, and temperate. Wait, why do I have temperate and tropical? Oh, I see. Plant type and coverage is severely inappropriate for this animal. Okay. Wait, here we go. Biomes. Tropical, temperate, grassland. Oh. Oh no. Okay, and grassland's fine. Wow, that's a big tree. How about trees are? I didn't know those were. Let's see. Let's put in one of these. Put in some more of these. The coverage is not super great. Put in some more of these bushes. There we go. Okay, that other number's going up now. So what is this one? Hawthorn bush is Asia, Europe. Okay. I just put that bush in the tree. Okay, these bracken ones seem to be the right ones. Okay. So what are these? These are temperate. So I'm going to stick with temperate. Okay. Okay, the plant types are getting really good. I'm going to put... Perfect.
They say that good fences make good neighbors. I guess that's doubly true when one of the neighbors is a Bengal tiger. Still, those tigers look so happy that I doubt they'd leave. Even if you did poke a hole in their fence. Oh, but for heaven's sake, don't test that theory.
Right, let's head over to the Indian peafowls. I've been told that we need to improve their social welfare.
I still have too high... I still have a habitat that nobody can see into because I made it all brick and I can't replace it. So nobody can see the damn tigers, which is kind of pointless. Edit barrier. I can't see a type here. I can't delete it. Oh well, whatever. Let's go do the whatever she was just talking about.
Now then,
okay.
Just find one of the peafowls and select them to open their information panel. Then we can have a good gander at how they're doing. Although technically, I suppose gandering would just be for geese.
Peafowls. Oh, there they are.
Expand their social welfare, and we can get a bit more detail.
Okay.
Now, they've clearly got plenty of space, and they're not stressed, but it looks like their social group isn't quite right. So let's find out more. Click on the social tab at the top of their information panel to see what's wrong. Right, as you can see, the peafowls need their population to be larger. To solve this little problem, you'll need to adopt 3 more female peafowls. Well, off you pop to the animal market. Good work on those peafowls. I expect they'll be delivered soon. But sadly, it sounds like our snow leopard is a bit grumpy. Let's head over there and see what's wrong with her. Just like people, animals can suffer from stress if things aren't quite right. You know, like when you see someone put in the milk before the tea bag. In the case of these snow leopards, they're a bit stressed by their lack of privacy. You can lower their stress levels by swapping out the normal glass barriers for one-way glass. It's not a cheap option, but I think they're worth the expense, don't you? This will give the snow leopards somewhere to go when they want to get away from the prying eyes of the guests.
Okay. Swap the barrier for one-way glass. Okay. Okay, hold on a second.
Of course, when an animal isn't in its natural biome, it's probably going to be too hot or too cold. Unsurprisingly for the snow leopards, it's too hot. Even with the terrible British weather, you should help cool it down by adding some coolers to their habitat. But let's start by opening up the temperature heat map and having a look-see at the temperature in the leopard's habitat.
Okay, let's have a look-see at the temperature. So, how do we see the temperature overlay? Let's find out. Okay, so open the temperature view mode. Temperature view mode is okay, here and then
As
here.
you can see, we already have one cooler in there. Let's pop some more down and get as much of the habitat as chilly as we can. Luckily for us, this habitat already has power, but you'll need to make sure of that in the future. Just so you know, if any part of a habitat is powered, then the whole habitat will be powered.
Oh, that's good to know. Okay. So let's go to habitat. Let's go to heaters and coolers. Let's put one here. And here. And let's see how that does. Okay, the temperature is decreasing. So let's take a look at our temperature overlay again. Okay, that's better. Okay. Whoops. Let's turn off the overlay. That's water there. And let's have a look at our snow leopard. Are they happier now? Ah, much better. Alright, so... Oh, I want to add one more cooler, apparently. Alright, so, I don't know. Let's... Where's my overlay again? Let's put one more cooler. Let's put it inside their habitat. So we'll do habitat. We'll do a cooler, and we'll put one here.
You can find heat maps for all sorts of helpful things, so do be sure to explore them and make good use of them.
Alright, I will absolutely do that.
It'll take a little while for the temperature to adjust once you've added coolers or heaters, but now we've got the coolers in, we can address the leopards' terrain welfare. You see, what the leopards really want in here is snow and rock, so let's make that happen.
Okay. Snow leopard terrain. A lot less long grass and more rock and more snow. Okay. All right, and then we want rock. Okay, the rock amount is good. We do need to get rid of some of that long grass, though.
Now then, all of that should give you a pretty good understanding of how to make animals happy. So I'd like you to go and check on all the other animals in the zoo and fix up any issues with their habitats.
Okay.
That'll increase the average welfare of the animals across the whole zoo. And that average welfare is a very important statistic.
Okay, how are the
Now,
giraffes
to
doing?
quickly see how all your animals are doing in the zoo, you should go into zoo management and then into the animals section.
Okay, zoo management. And then we'll go into the animals section, which is...
As you can see,
paw thingy
this
here.
list shows you the animal's overall welfare.
Ah,
So
okay.
if something's amiss, then you can quickly pop over to them using the locate button.
Okay,
Right,
so the
I'm off
wolves
for a
aren't super
cuppa while
happy.
you make sure all the animals are well looked after.
Alright, so... let's head over to Willoughby the wolf. Okay, wolf habitat. What's up with the wolves? How you guys doing? Oh, your enrichment is garbage and your welfare is not good either. Let's see what we want for welfare. Wait, no, that's welfare is all of this. Enrichment. You have no enrichment. You have no food enrichment. You have no toy enrichment. You are just not enriched. Let's check out our enrichment items. And we're going to go to food enrichment. And for wolfies, how do I know which ones are appropriate? Okay, so we'll put in a dog ball. So 100 out of 22. So that's good. Now we want toy enrichment. Well, that was... no, that's food enrichment. Now we want toy enrichment. So for toy enrichment, we're going to put in a... maybe a chew toy and a fire hose ball. No? You guys not liking the fire hose ball? That's fine. How about the grab ball? And then we'll put in a prey-scented sack. Ooh. Oh, I see. Oh, I would... okay, so these little things are not good for them. And neither is this. This is for... okay, so the fire hose ball is garbage. So I have to turn those off. Or I have to filter them by, like, what's good for a wolf. So Timberwolf would get these. Chew toys are fine. Prey sense attack is fine. Okay, sweet. And a sprinkler. Alright, so are you guys happy? Habitat. Terrain is not great. Let's take a look. Terrain. We need a lot more. We need a lot less long grass and a bit more soil. Alright, so let's fix that. More soil. A lot less long grass. A lot less long grass, jeez. Need to get rid of all of this long grass. Is there a way for me to actually see where the long grass is? Because that's a lot of grass I'm seeing here. Let me see. Water, habitat. Okay, buildings, blah 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 blah. Traversable area. Shelter. So, their habitat's pretty good now, looks like. I just, without zooming in really close and just kind of looking all around, I don't see where I can get rid of more long grass. I can get rid of, oops. Yeah, this terrain thing's a little wonky. So let's do a size of 3. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Get rid of all of this. How are we doing down here, guys? Our soil's still pretty good. I want to get these guys to as perfect as I can. Oh, look at all this. Nope, 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 nope. All the long grass, go away. Go away. Good, good, good. All of that needs to go. I'm still at 26%. Where is it? I mean, auto paint. What is that doing? No, that's putting in more long grass. Go away. Huh. Weird. Alright, so that's the wolves. They seem to be much happier now. Yeah. Let's go back to our animal views and take a look. So the wolves are happy. The zebra's not so happy. Let's go check out the zebras. Alright, zebras. What you got for me here? No enrichment. Again. Okay, so we will go to habitat. We'll go to filter. We'll change the species from a timber wolf to a plain zebra. We'll put in a grab ball. And we'll put in a rubbing pillar. And then we'll put in, I guess, another rubbing pillar, I guess. And another grab ball. Oh, I didn't need to put all that in there. Oh, well. Let's remove that one. Let's go back to my zebra. Okay, so your enrichment's better, but not perfect. I need food enrichment now, so I'm at 299 out of 60. I did not need to put all that extra crap in there. That can go. So, let's see. 200 out of 60. I only really needed to put like one thing in there. Well, that guy seems to like his rubbing pillar, so I'm going to take this thing out. Alright, so there you go, 100 out of 60. They got the rubbing pillars and they need food enrichment. So, let's go to food enrichment and a small barrel feeder. I will put this over here. Boom! Enrichment. Okay, so I wonder why that's only at 84% if it's 100. If it only needed that much. How are my giraffes doing? Are they happy? Their welfare's pretty good. Their enrichment's not great. So, let's take a look at what they need. The sprinkler's not good. Where's the sprinkler? That's a heater. There's a sprinkler. Sprinkler... It says it gives them...
Not bad.
Overtime.
Not bad at
Whoa.
all. I think it's fair to say that you've passed the first part of your training with flying
Yay.
colours. There's still lots more
Okay,
to learn,
they like the
but we'll have to
sprinkler,
head to another one of Bernie's zoos.
but they
for
have
that.
no food
If you
enrichment.
want to grab your passport, we'll head off, shall we?
Sure, we'll do that the next time.
Sounds like you've got the whole zoo purring away nicely. Well, purring, grunting, screaming, booming. All the appropriate noises. I guess I was right to hire you, huh?
You were, Bernie.
Don't tell her I told you, but Nancy wasn't sure you'd even last the morning. So, we're happy this is working out. And Nancy owes me a Foxy coffee. As strange as it seems, considering we just met, when I look at you, I feel like you're the child I never had. After the one I did have, obviously. But you see,
You're very weird, Bernie.
zookeeping's not for my daughter. Don't get me wrong. Emma absolutely loves animals, but she set her sights somewhat higher. Wants to save the entire planet. I'll just settle for saving a couple of species. And maybe having a type of frog named after me.
All right. Well, that seems like a pretty good go for the evening. So thank you for watching, and if you like it, subscribe, and it'll notify you when I go online again. And thank you for watching, and I will see you next time here on Tycoonatic.